Hey guys, it is me. I am going live today for the first time in maybe 2 weeks at the very least. I don't know when the last time I actually went live was. But hey, I'm here. Let's get this show on the road. Let's start out, as always, we start out with Monday Night Raw. If you're seeing a little bit of discoloration potentially right here in this little area, don't worry about that. It's I have a little scab or whatever it is. I got something right in the just right inside my nose that's been bothering me, and so I finally was able to pick at it, and now it's and earlier it was getting all bloody, and I had to go to the bathroom to clean it up. Hopefully, I won't have to have a problem with that while I'm alive. But hey, I'm drinking water out of this big ass Propel water bottle. But one like so far, two potentially two likes. Can we get it up to at least five? Can we make it to 5 likes before I officially am happy and I don't have to worry about the likes going forward? I don't want to have. I don't want to have to worry. I don't want to worry. But hey, thanks you guys for the people who are potentially here. Let's get started. Obviously, Monday Night Raw starts out each week, and opening of the show, we were was a video package, basically detailing reliving last week's last week's main event, which was not Division for the first time in a long time. Although this week they decided to go right back to Division as the main event. But hey, a week without Division being the main event, I'll accept that any day of the week. We got Rhea Ripley versus Asuka in the main event. That would lead to the heel turn from Asuka, as post match Asuka misted misted Rhea Ripley in the face. This then led to obviously Io coming out to support Rhea, but also to like get some answers, like what the hell's going on. I thought we were friends, but obviously in the last few weeks or so, it's been very apparent that they are not friends anymore, and that they are clearly never going to be friends. I think for the foreseeable future. As Asuka then turned heel on Io. And that's how the show ended, with Kyrie hitting the insane elbow, even though for the majority of her beating down on Io, it seemed very apparent that she did not want to do this. And that was even made apparent later on this week's edition of Raw, as we would see later. But obviously, the opening was Rhea Ripley calling out Asuka and Kairi Sane for what they did last week. They came out, but then Io came out, led to another brawl. This time with Io getting misted, and so that's how that ended. And now we get a match made, and then later on in the night we would have a match made for Crown Jewel. Asuka, Rhea Ripley, and Io Sky versus Asuka and Kairi Sane, which should be a good match. But hey, it is what it is. After this, we got the New Day with Adam Pearce. They are still complaining about not getting a tag team title rematch. Like, they lost the tag team titles like 2 months ago, and they're still like however long it was since they've lost the tag titles, and they're still complaining about it, and they're still complaining about not getting a title opportunity or a title shot. Like, why don't you actually win a match for once? Why don't you, I don't know, win a match, whether it's a tag team match or even one of you wins a singles match against one half of the tag team champions, then maybe you can get a title shot. Because just complaining week after week after week isn't going to do anything, and Adam Pearce is just not going to give you a title shot. Okay, no matter how much you complain, it's not going to work. I know a lot of people like that. I know a lot of people who are like that. But Adam Pearce had a match already made for Kofi Kingston tonight, and it would be none other than LA Knight. So LA Knight, who recently has been losing a lot, and has been in the Vision Vortex for way too long. I figured it was about time that they do something different with the LA Knight and move him away from the Vision / Usos drama. And they have now. It looks like he's now feuding with the New Day. I'm guessing we're going to get a match next week between him and Xavier Woods, because it only makes sense because Benta faced all three members of the New Day at some way of the new, I guess you say the New Day at some way, shape, or form. Grayson Waller, also Xavier Woods, Kofi Kingston, not counting tag team matches. Not counting those tag team matches he had, the tag team matches he had with the War Raiders. Well, that one tag team match. That was a 6-man no DQ, which I think was last week. And hey, it looks like they're moving Penta on to something different. After this, we got Finn Balor and JD McDonough being interviewed by Byron Saxton. They are talking about the state of the tag team division on Raw, which there is none. There is no tag team division. The tag team champions, the Judgment Day, have only defended their titles once since winning them. They are going back to the formula that they used the first time JD and Finn won the titles, which is basically hold the titles hostage and not defend them as many times as you possibly can before inevitably Adam Pearce makes you and demands that you defend them whether you like it or not, and then whichever team you're facing, that team is going to win. Like, they've got the New Day, the War Raiders, LWO, which is Cruz del Toro and Joaquin Wilde. They got Los Americanos now, the Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate. They've got, we had AJ Styles and Dragon Lee in that tag team match this week, but I don't know, but they're not a legit tag team, and obviously AJ Styles has his feud with John Cena to worry about. Then they got the Creed brothers, and that's about it. Other than the Judgment Day, those are the other 5 teams that you could say are legit, are tag teams on Raw. Once Otis comes back, then they'll have 6 because you got Alpha Academy, but they're not contenders. To be honest, I'm wondering where the Creed brothers even are. I know Chad Gable's injured, but that doesn't mean that you should just not use. That doesn't mean you can't use the New Day, the Creed brothers. Just because Chad Gable's injured doesn't mean you have to have the Creed brothers on standby. I don't know. The Raw tag team division is just sucks. It just sucks, and there's no way to sugarcoat it. There's no way that I'm going to sugarcoat it, but that's just the way I feel. There's so many tag teams on SmackDown that I would take at least maybe even just one of those tag teams, move them over to the Raw, get them in contention for the Raw tag team titles, and then voila, you got maybe an instant team that's maybe Motor City Machine Guns can go over to Monday Night Raw because I feel like they haven't been doing anything as of late. None of the tag teams are really doing anything as of late. The only challenges we've gotten since SummerSlam have been the Street Profits, and nobody else has really had an opportunity. But hey, it is what it is. It is. It looks like they might be due. Yeah, but and one of the criticisms as of late has been the Judgment Day's infrequent defense of the tag team titles and the poor state of the tag team division. But that seems looks like they might be using that as a story, like making the poor state of the Raw men's tag team division into a story, which might be interesting. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. I don't know. But it is what it is. We got after this we got the LA Knight versus LA Knights versus Kofi Kingston. This match lasted just about 10 minutes. Nothing too special, but the only thing special about this was that LA Knights actually got a win for the first time in quite some time. He got a win. So that's the only special thing about it. And if you're wondering what I'm doing, I am looking at my notes. Okay. Also, I'm using my iPad to share this live stream out to my community tab, just in case anybody wants to. Just in case anybody wants to come on to my live stream. I got 3 likes. I'm liking that. And no, it is not Wrestling Weekend Review Podcast. That's live stream number 101. It's 102, although I wasn't quite sure exactly. Hey, Austin Lee Hey, Austin Benninger. Hey, Austin. If anybody's here that wants to hit that like button, feel free to do so. It's never required, but I do appreciate it. After this, we got Bayley backstage with Lyra. Bayley has a match tonight against Raquel Rodriguez, and she wants Lyra there as sort of backup to maybe offset any interference that Roxanne Perez might have. Hey, thanks. I got 6 likes. Now can we only get it to 10 likes? Now can we get it to 10 likes? Thanks, Austin. I appreciate it. If you guys, obviously, if there's any way you can share this live stream out to people, that's fine. I do not mind that at all. I would like it. Oh, forgot to do something earlier when I was here. When I first got here, because I forgot to plug my iPad up. I'll do that right now. Is just wait a second. Shouldn't take me that long to do. Anyways, just a few seconds. Okay, I'm done with that. That's done. Thanks, Austin. I appreciate it. Well, let's keep going. We got Jey Uso backstage with Jimmy Uso, preparing for their Tornado tag match tonight against the Braun Breaker and the Bronson Reed team. Jimmy Uso is not exactly happy with Jay's sudden change in attitude. He's definitely acting more aggressive, and he's definitely acting more and more like a tribal chief, although he has no Ulafala around his neck. That's what Jimmy Uso told him a few weeks ago. Like, you're starting to sound like a tribal chief, yet I don't see no Ulafala around your neck. Like, dude, like I told you before, I didn't want you going down this path because I didn't want you to become just like Roman Reigns. Yeah, when Jimmy Uso cost Jey Uso his shot at the Undisputed Championship I think it was back at SummerSlam 2023. The reason he gave was because he didn't want Jey Uso to become a Roman Reigns clone. Basically, he didn't want Jey Uso to become what Roman Reigns had become. And now it looks like he's finally becoming what Jey feared 2 years ago, more than 2 years ago. He's starting to become Roman Reigns in the flesh, and he's not exactly liking it because he knows what Roman Reigns did as a tribal chief and how how it eventually became to how he abused them week after week after week. We got 7 likes. Hey, can we make it to 10? I would love to make it to 10. If there's anybody here, let your presence be felt. Say something. I don't just want there to be silence. But hey, I appreciate the likes. I appreciate the likes, and I appreciate the people who are here and who are going to show up, and the people who are going to show up eventually. I do appreciate those people as well. They may not be here yet, but I appreciate them nonetheless. But after this, we got Bayley versus Raquel Rodriguez. This match lasted just about 11 minutes. Good match. Bayley did beat Roxanne Perez last week. So I figured, you know what, I don't think it's gonna. So I don't think it's gonna. So I didn't think she was gonna win twice in as many weeks, and that's exactly what happened. Raquel was able to win this match. Bayley is probably has now become one of the better moments of Raw each week because she's got this. Apparently, she's got this split personality gimmick where she's loving and huggable one week or at least 1 minute, and then just downright mean and vicious. Hey, thanks, Austin. And then just downright mean and vicious the next minute. So I'm like, okay, I like this version of Bayley. She's definitely becoming a favorite of mine on the main Raw. She's definitely becoming a favorite of mine recently. So I'm kind of glad and I think this is definitely going to be the best thing for her. I think she's definitely going to do great things with this. Yeah, I do appreciate that. Well, I do appreciate that, Austin. 8 likes. Thank you. Can we get it to 10, please? I only need 2 more likes to make it to 10. After that, I don't care what happens. After 10 likes, I don't care what happens. If we make it to 10, great. If we make it to 15, who knows? But I'll appreciate it no matter what. I'll appreciate it regardless. But we got, after the opening segment, we got Io and backstage. She's still got the blue mist on her from earlier. Kairi Sane approaches her, wants her to apologize to Asuka. I mean, why should Io apologize to Asuka? for siding with Rhea over her. I mean, Asuka basically started this by basically targeting Rhea by saying that I'm Yo's friend, not you. I'm Yo's friend, not you. Okay, well, a person can have more than one friend, Asuka. Okay? I don't know if you know that, but in this world, there's such a thing as having multiple friends. Like, I have multiple friends that come onto this live stream every week, every Saturday. You don't see any of them, like, fighting over each other, fighting each other over me. It's not how this works. It's not how it works. But hey, Asuka's gonna do. Okay. Okay. Oh, 1 like away. I can't. 1 like away from 10. I'm here for it. I'm here for it. Can we make it to 10? Can we make it to 10? I would very much love that. I'm only 1 like away from 10. But yeah. Obviously, we got Seth Rollins, another Seth Rollins, Cody Rhodes face off. Obviously, they're facing at Crown Jewel for the Crown Jewel Championship. This is basically what you would find at a regular Survivor Series pay-per-view. This is what you would have: champion versus champion. This is basically the Survivor Series concept of champion versus champion. Only there's a big, huge title on the line and a ring that you get. So it is what it is. Yes. Now that it's at 10 likes, I don't even care what happens the rest of the stream. Whether we get likes, whether we get any more likes, doesn't matter to me. Thank you, Austin. I really, really do appreciate the likes. And hopefully this live stream actually is drama free today, because we all know there's someone out there who would very much love to crash the live stream and give us crash the live stream and start doing what he always does and attack me for literally no other reason than just the fact that he's bored and he doesn't have a life outside of YouTube and or X. Who knows? But let's continue. Obviously Seth Rollins is 0-3 in matches against Cody Rhodes so far. Obviously, they had their trilogy back in 2022 when Cody Rhodes first came back to WWE for the first time in almost 6 years. It was shortly after WrestleMania 32 that he left. Oh, okay. I appreciate that. How much subscribers is that now? Oh, I was actually hoping to get to 680 subscribers for the first today. Yeah, earlier today I was live with I was on a friend's live stream. His name is James Gipe. He is one of those live streamers. He's one of those live streamers that goes live and allows you to and put your link in the chat so people can follow you, can subscribe to you. So it's one of those. He's one of those type of live streamers. I have a couple of people I'm subscribed to on this channel that do that sort of thing. They're there to help you gain subscribers. And sometimes he does Fortnite live streams as well. So, but thank you, Austin. I don't think I could repay you for this 680 subscribers. Now let's get to 690. Now my next goal. I think what I can do is I can set goals for myself. It's like once I get to 680, okay, next goal for me is 690, then 700. Hazy. Any of you guys that are just now coming in, if there's anyone who's just now coming in and you want to hit that like button, feel free to do so. It's never required, but I do appreciate it. After, yeah, Cody and Seth was Moxley. Mox won SmackDown Trivia on YouTube. Mr. Guy won trivia on TikTok. So congrats to him. I like him, but I don't like Mox because he abuses his mod powers whenever he pleases, simply because I spit out facts, and he just doesn't like to hear the truth. We all know that all these fake accounts that come in on the Matt's live streams, like Shitty Khan, Tony Khan, Vince McMahon, Triple H, all these guys like Jim Cornette. You really think that all those people are actually coming on the Matt's live stream? No. Those are fake accounts, obviously. And they're all spearheaded by Mox. I'm sorry, you can cancel me. You can try and cancel me for that, but it's not going to happen because I know the truth and you can't hide from it. There's only so long you're going to be able to hide from the truth until it comes out. But hey, I appreciate you guys coming on my live stream. Oh, I know it's him. I mean, the words that he says, the words that these fake accounts say, the way they word certain things that they say. I know Mox after knowing Mox for now over 4 years now. I think I know what Mox would say, how he would say it, and everything. I know what words he likes to use. I know what words are his favorite words to use when it comes to me, when it comes to describing me and whatnot. But hey, I think I know Mox by now. But after this Cody Rhodes, Seth Rollins segment, they go backstage with Becky Lynch. She is still not exactly happy about losing that tag team match. Oh, he is. No, I am not assuming. No. I know it's him. I just gave you the reason why I know it's him. Well, he's been bullying me for over 2 years now. So hey. No, I believe in the truth. And I know exactly, and I know what I know. We got Dominic Mysterio versus Rusev for the Intercontinental Championship. Well, Rory's not a mod, but it's Mox and RJ Charlton who are the current mods on Matt's channel at the moment. But I remember what you showed me via Instagram, that screenshot I guess you took of Hacker of Tomorrow basically claiming that he couldn't wait to ban me from Matt's live streams, and the only type of people who can do that on any live stream is a moderator, and since Hacker of Tomorrow isn't a mod on Matt's channel, whoever said that would have to be someone who is a mod on Matt's channel. And I know RJ Charlton doesn't know me nearly as much as Moxley does. So why would he even care enough? But hey, We got Dominic Mysterio versus Rusev for the Intercontinental Championship. I didn't think Dominic was going to lose to Rusev, of all people. But it's interesting that they did this match because it was a heel versus heel match. Actually, no, I don't. Not anymore. Not as much as I used to. But hey. Yesterday was a great live stream on Matt's channel. Majority of the stream was drama free, and that was mainly because Mox wasn't there to cause drama. So, hey. And even when he is there, what I'm trying to do more and more now is just ignore anything and everything he has to say. I know he was there, but it was like for the majority of it. He wasn't there for like the first like maybe hour or so. He wasn't there. And even when he did show up, it's like I was just trying not to get myself timed out, so I was just keeping my mouth shut and just not giving a damn about what he had to say. No, he didn't. But nowadays, he doesn't even have to say anything to me or directly to me. He doesn't even have to. He only mentioned my name once. And that was actually near the end of the live stream. So, hey. But hey, I'm done talking about that for now. Rusev, obviously, Dominic Mysterio won this match, even though at one point, Dominic Mysterio tried to pull the old Eddie Guerrero light cheat and steal, but the referee clearly saw what was happening. Or he saw what happened and just. But he was still able to win the match anyways. Well, that I wouldn't know. Because I don't. Like I said, I'm starting to feel like I just don't care enough anymore to. Well, that's not why I'm here. I'm not here to talk about Mox. I'm here to talk about wrestling. If you're not here to talk about wrestling with me, then that's okay. You're still allowed to be here, but I would just rather not talk about him. After the Dominic Mysterio-Rusev match backstage, we get Stephanie Vaquer, the current Women's World Champion. Obviously, she will face Tiffany Stratton. No, you are. You're allowed to be here. I like that you're here, Z. It's just that I don't really want to talk, right? After that, we got Stephanie Vaquer backstage, the current Women's World Champion. And hey, we got, obviously, she will be facing off against Tiffany Stratton at Crown Jewel for the Women's Crown Jewel Championship. Yeah, I saw that. I mean, that's okay for AEW this week, but then next week, they're getting trounced next week because next week they're facing off against TNA, against NXT and TNA when they. At this point, I don't care about Vince McMahon. I mean, Triple H isn't perfect. Triple H isn't exactly perfect, but hey, I do. But I appreciate him more than Vince McMahon. Tiffany would interrupt this. Tiffany Vaquer was backstage being interviewed by, I think it was Kathy Kelly. Tiffany Stratton would interrupt and would praise Stephanie Vaquer and would basically put some highlight on their match at Crown Jewel, which should be very good. It should be very good. Yeah. Without Vince McMahon and Hulk Hogan, there wouldn't be WWE. Well, WWE is doing a lot better now than it was in the last in the last 2 3 years of Vince is running WWE. So you can't exactly compare. Yes, Vince created WWE, and without Vince, there wouldn't be no WWE. But well, I think it's safe to say WWE is doing just fine without Vince right now, and we don't need him. I did see that. I did see a video pop up on YouTube that was like an eight. That was like a shorts video with the Chris Benoit. Yeah, that was weird. Obviously, that was like a fan AI generated video. It wasn't like a real video. It wasn't like a real return because he's been dead for. Hey, Austin. I'm glad you're still here. I know that not everybody that does come onto my live streams can stay the whole time. Sometimes they have stuff they got to do. So I'm glad you're still here, Austin. And since you're the only mod right now, I do trust you to take care of all the fake accounts. Well, respectfully, and that's okay. You're allowed to have a different opinion on my channel. I'm not just gonna sit here and tell you that you're wrong and that you should burn in hell for having a different opinion of me because I know that's what some other people would say, or at least what one other person would say. But I'm not that type of person. If you like Vince McMahon, if you think Vince McMahon was great for WWE, great. He was. But I'm going to tell you right now, WWE is doing great. And we don't need Vince. I'm not saying that WWE isn't where it is because of anybody else but Vince McMahon, because that would be a lie. WWE is where it is right now because of Vince McMahon. But do we need Vince right now? No. We got Dragon Lee, we got AJ Styles, and Dragon Lee versus Los Americanos. I'd say we need TKO because they're the ones that are currently in control of WWE, so technically we do need them. I don't know what kind of a question that would be. This match lasted about 10 minutes. It was an okay tag team match. AJ and Dragon Lee won the match. Like I said, Z, I'm not gonna get in there. I'm not just gonna like tell them, oh, you're wrong and I'm right, you're wrong. I would just say, hey, you're allowed to your own opinion, just like I'm allowed to my own opinion. Starting to get a little annoyed by these questions because I feel like you're trying to get something out of me that you're not gonna get out of me. Well, I know what you would probably want me to say, and that I would stop watching WWE altogether, but I wouldn't. I would still watch WWE. I would still watch WWE. I'm not an idiot. We got a vignette, or a video package, so to speak, of the history after the Dragon Lee AJ Styles versus Los Americanos match. We got the Cody Rhodes. Should I ban? No, Austin. He's okay. The Rock returns. I believe he could if WrestleMania 43 it's going to be in for WrestleMania 43 maybe, because maybe Yeah, he's just talking, and I don't mind. I don't mind that. It's okay, Austin. Just yeah, Z's okay. WrestleMania 43 is in Saudi Arabia, going to be in Saudi Arabia, and they're going to want all the dream matches they can dream up, and they're already making it out to be the biggest WrestleMania of all time. So I think if Saudi gets what they want, we're probably going to get the Roman Reigns versus Rock match at WrestleMania 43 potentially. Don't know if it's actually going to happen because I feel like we've sort of gotten to that point where if we get the match now, I feel like not many people would actually want it because when we could have gotten it, they decided to go with something else. Probably, probably. They both don't like me, so you know that's gonna be a driving force. Obviously, after this, we got the main event: Jay Uso, the Usos versus Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed Tornado Tag Team match. Lasted about 16 minutes. Match was good. Featured the return of Roman Reigns, who has been out since Clash in Paris. You can't call for a general election on Match Channel, Mox. And bye bye, and bye bye. So, hey, Roman Reigns is back. Congrats to him on returning for the first time since since oh yeah, the first superstar in history to leave WWE, go to AEW, leave AEW, go back to WWE, leave WWE, and then go back to AEW. He's the first person to sign with AEW twice. Yeah, I'm like, okay. Well, here's hoping his run this time is better than his first run. Because at least he's with the Don Callis family. But then again, the Don Callis family, as of right now, if I'm not mistaken, they have like 12 or 13 members, and that's almost half the roster. They got half the roster. They got half the roster signed to this group, assigned to this group, and only half of them are being used on weekly television. A lot of them are either used on Ring of Honor or just aren't being used at all. But they're still being but they're still being listed as members of the group on the AW's website. Um, I'm subscribed to him. I don't tune into every single one of his live streams, but I don't think there's one thing. I don't even think there's one thing I respect about any of them. But Monday Night Raw was a good show. If I was to rate it, I'd rate it a 7.5. At least it was an okay show. Nothing, not perfect, but it was good. But it was very good. Now NXT, obviously this upcoming Tuesday will be NXT Invasion. I'm sorry, Israel. I'm sorry, Israel. I'm sorry that your feelings got hurt. Got so dirt poor hurt that WWE was forced to change the name of their upcoming TNA NXT/TNA crossover show just because of your stupid feelings getting hurt. And it is TNA NXT Invasion, not Showdown. At least I won't be calling it that. Because that's exactly what it is, an invasion. I know Santino tried to spin it as not an invasion, but just a showdown, or just a show off of NXT. William Mox. I don't. I'm starting to get a little annoyed by these questions, because I feel like you're trying to get something out of me that's not there. Don't be sorry for talking. It's just that I'm starting to get a little annoyed by your questions, because I feel like you're trying to get an answer out of me that I'm just not going to give you. Okay. We got Ricky Saints, the new NXT champion. The new NXT champion. He's out there to talk about his win at No Mercy, and obviously the upcoming NXT TNA show. This was interrupted. He was interrupted by the NXT Women's Champion Jacy Jayne, and then they were then interrupted by Ava, who announced that Ricky and Jacy would be the team captains for the Survivor Series style elimination matches. I actually can't remember. Well, it was the Monday night Raw following Money in the Bank 2021. And obviously I can't watch Monday Night Raw. Now I can't watch it because it's on Netflix and I don't have Netflix. But even then, when it was on USA Network, I couldn't watch it because I don't have USA Network. We just have regular channels at home, like the 7, 10, 13, 21, 24, 38. We just have those channels. We don't have cable or anything like that. So I was just looking for someone who was live streaming the show. Just like some of these guys that do it, like Santi Zap, Conman, all these other guys that live stream Monday Night Raw or any WWE show for that matter. And that's basically how I found Matt's channel. I was looking for someone who was live streaming WWE on that night, and that's how I found him. And now it's been over 4 years, and I'm still with Matt's channel, and I don't think I'll ever leave. There are on those rare days when Matt doesn't. Well, I actually became a WWE fan when I watched the first ever Friday Night SmackDown on Fox. Believe it or not, that was the first ever time I'd watched WWE ever. And at that time, I was 22 at that time. I was 22 back then. I was 22 then. And so basically you could say I was a late bloomer. And came to being a wrestling fan. After the main event, so let's get back on track. After the opening segments, oh yeah, obviously we got Santino Marella, the Director of Authority for TNA. He came out and announced his team captains for the Survivor Series elimination style matches. We got Mike Santana being the team captain for the men's team, and Kelani Jordan, the current TNA Knockouts champion. She is going to be the team captain for the women's side, which is weird because she is an NXT talent holding the TNA Knockouts title. And again, if Jacy was still the champion, I'd say we'd be happy. We'd probably have both NXT captains being TNA champions, which would have been super awkward. But Santino didn't exactly trust Tricky Williams, as he called him. I mean, he has to have a drink in his name. Yeah. After this, we got a rematch from a couple weeks ago. Lash Legend versus Jada Parker. This match lasted just about 10 minutes. This was a solid match. Nothing special, but it was solid. And Jada Parker, obviously, Lash Legend won the last match between the two of them. And so this time, Jada Parker got her lick back and was able to pick up the win against Lash Legend. So, congrats. Nothing special, but this would lead to JC Jane adding Jada Parker to her team for the NXT Invasion show. After this, we go backstage with Lyra Valkyria, who's backstage with her friend Tatum Paxley. Obviously, they're just talking, and then Lyra decides to give Tatum a gift that she's, I guess, been working on as of late, and it's a Lyra Valkyria doll for Tatum. Yeah, it's just that the last two have been sort of somewhat complicated. Oh, Finn does WWE. Hey, I eventually figured you'd come on my live stream. If you want, I'm making you a mod position. I'm making you a mod in case you don't mind. But hey, this guy, I know him. The guy that I was talking about earlier, James Gipe. I found him via his channel. Found this guy via his channel. Obviously, now that I'm seeing someone new in here, I'm just going to reiterate. If anybody that's new here, or is just now coming into the live chat, just watching this live stream now for the first time, and you want to hit that like button, feel free to do so. It's not required, but I do appreciate it. And if you're capable of sharing this live stream onto your community tab or post it to your channel, feel free to do that as well. What's that, Austin? Ooh. After this backstage segment, we go backstage, obviously in the locker room, with Ricky Saints talking with the men's roster. I mean, yeah, that's not exactly good, considering what I found out what they were doing the same time last year, which was like 690 thousand, which is obviously a complete difference. That's like 200,000 difference from last year, from what they were doing at the same time last year. Well, thanks. I'm honored to have you here. I'm happy. I'm glad you're here. I think I would love to get this live stream out to more people and let more people come, because I definitely could use. I'm trying to get monetized, but it's hard for me to get the views when the majority of my videos don't get over 100 views ever. Don't hardly ever get up over 100 views. And even if they do, it's like very rare. And the majority of my views come from my shorts videos, and the majority of them are able to get at least 500 views or more. But obviously, from what I learned, shorts views don't count for my public watch hours, which sucks because that's where a majority of my views come from. Like, I would wish if my live streams could get out, I could get my live streams out to more wrestling fans. I don't really listen to what guys like Kim say. I don't really listen to those guys that much, so I wouldn't really know if he's a reliable source or not. Obviously, Ricky Saints was busy naming his team. Okay, I actually do have my iPad, so I've got my iPad with me so I can go. Well, thanks. Well, I just gave your little community, your post a like, and I gave it a comment. So thank you, Finda's WWE. I appreciate it. We got Ricky Saints. He's named Trick Williams is on the team for Team TNA, and then we got Mile, and then we got Javon Evans. I got 6 people apparently watching me. That's nice. I don't usually get that many people watching me at one time. The most I'll get is like maybe 4 or 5. Although I've gotten 6 or 7 people watching before, but it's been very rare. So I'm happy for the people who are watching, and I'm happy for the people who have liked this live stream. I appreciate each and every one of you. Well, also Trick Williams wanted Josh Briggs to be on the team in case in case Mike Santana decided to pick Moose as their second. Yeah. I don't know who the Judgment Day are losing to. Are gonna lose to, because they haven't built up any tag teams. There's hardly any tag team wrestling on WWE anymore. And even if there is a tag team match on WWE anymore, it's not even a part of the tag team titles picture. It's just a random tag team like AJ Styles and Dragon Lee versus Los Americanos. That was just a tag team mainly because Dragon Lee and AJ Styles have been going back and forth with El Grande Americano and his group of luchas as of late. So that's the only reason why this tag team match was even made official. Yeah, it's definitely feels like they're just there to hold the titles and hold them for as long as they can before WWE finally decides, you know what, we need to take these titles off of Judgment Day. I mean, this is exactly a copy and paste of what happened the first time they won. These two guys, JD and Finn, won the titles. They barely defended them, and they defended them like 3 times. And on their third defense, they lost to the War Raiders. And the War Raiders did nothing with the titles because the War Raiders weren't even defending them nearly as much as I mean, at least the Judgment Day were actually featured on TV as champions. With the War Raiders, they were hardly ever shown on TV. I mean, why exactly does Raw have a men's tag team division if they're not even going to use the tag teams that they have? They've got some good tag teams. It's just that they don't use them ever. And when they do, it's in tag teams matches that don't mean anything. And it's mainly, and the tag team matches we do get are from other storylines that aren't even related to the tag team titles. After this, we got JC Jane, obviously backstage. Obviously, she is also tasked with making her team official for the the NXT Invasion show. We got Soruka, obviously. Soruka is on the team. Jada Parker after the match. Yeah, I think it's safe to say that as long as WWE refuses to put any emphasis on the tag team division over on Raw, well, I watch it every Tuesday because it's on the CW, and I have that station, and so I'm able to watch NXT. And NXT recently has been pretty good, especially this TNA Invasion storyline. Rey Mysterio has been injured. Remember, Austin, he got injured before WrestleMania and he's been out since. But it's from what I've heard, he is scheduled to be back pretty soon. Oops, I need to get going with my live stream. I've been off topic a lot today. We got Lola Vice, who wants to be on JC Jane's team, but Fallon Henley is a member of Fatal Influence, so JC Jane decided, you know what? I'm going to pit you two against each other. The winner gets to be on my team. And that's hey. But hey, it is what it is. After this, we got Lola Vice versus Fallon Henley. This match is determined to determine who will join JC Jane's team for the Survivors for the NXT TNA Showdown match. Showdown. Well, Invasion show. I don't see a spider. There is, I don't see it. There is, I don't see it. But hey, we got this match lasted about 4 minutes. It was essentially a squash, semi-squash. Lola Vice wins. Lola Vice wins, and she joins Team NXT. Then we got a Dark State vignette. They are gonna go up against TNA Tag Team Champions, the Hardy Boys. I'd have to say John Cena is one of my favorites. Yeah, the WWE Championship. And yeah, I'm hoping the same thing too, Austin. Hardy Boys have never won the tag team titles in NXT. So I'm hoping he wins. I'm hoping that, but then again, knowing the Dark States and they just won the tag team titles just recently, I feel like Heat Wave, which was only a month ago, I do feel like they're going to give Dark State the win potentially, which would definitely be a big win for them because I think not the greatest. I wouldn't say he's the greatest. No, I would not say he's the greatest. But he's definitely better than a lot of others that have come before him as WWE champion. Jinder Mahal comes to mind. Worst WWE champion ever. I'd say Roman Reigns is definitely up there. Currently, it's Ludwig Kaiser, and then the two goons that are with him are Tyler Bates and Pete Dunne. At least that's what everybody believes. Oh yeah, well no, World Heavyweight Champion. I was talking about WWE Champion. But he's definitely up there as one of the worst world champions in this company's history. He was not ready. He was not ready at all. We got JC Jane. Obviously, we got JC Jane and Fallon Henley backstage. Obviously, they're not happy about how that match between her and Lola ended. Then Laney Reed came out and said, oh yeah, Brock Lesnar squashing Kofi Kingston in 6 seconds. I can't remember how long it was. It was either 6 or 7 seconds to win the WWE Championship. That was definitely not one of the more stupid booking decisions of 2019. I mean, look, I didn't think Kofi was winning when I saw this match. I was like, okay, the guy with Paul Heyman, he looks like he could definitely destroy Kofi Kingston for good. So I'm like, yeah, I'm not expecting this match to last very long. But then again, I don't. Oh, yeah, it is somewhat. But I wouldn't necessarily. But I wasn't expecting the match to last only like 7 seconds. Like one F5 and boom, he's done. Like I definitely would have just. I definitely would have made the match at least go on at least for 5 minutes. At least that's a believable squash and not just 7 seconds. Roman Reigns should not be released. Let me get that one thing straight. And Gunther, he's also just like Cody Rhodes, not the greatest, but he's definitely great. A great wrestler, and I just don't know why certain people feel the need to constantly attack him. Oh, sorry. And I just don't really get why certain people feel the need to attack Gunther and say he's bad, or that he's no draw, or that he's just a bad wrestler. He's a great one, and same with Cody Rhodes. But yeah, Lainey Reed, she confessed. She confessed to attacking Lola Device in her match against JC Jane. Great. Oh, they're allowed to have their own opinions. I'm not saying that people aren't allowed to have opinions on Cody Rhodes and Gunther. It's just that I feel like you're implying something, and I feel like I need to just emphasize my opinion. They're not the greatest, obviously, but they're definitely great, and I don't get why some certain people just. I just don't get why some people feel like they need to. They say that Gunther's bad because he isn't. We got Miles Bourne versus Josh Briggs, with the winner joining Team Ricky Saints for NXT Invasion. Match lasted about 12 minutes. Pretty good match. And Miles Bourne was able to win the match via interference from Matt Cardona, apparently, who decided to show up. But I don't know why he showed up. Maybe he just didn't. Maybe Moose was going to be on the team and he didn't want someone else. He didn't want. Austin, don't hide Z. Don't hide Z. Don't hide Z. I don't know why you decided to do that. I was okay with him talking. Okay, I don't think you needed to do that. Yeah, it's okay. Well, what's done is done. I'll just. You know what, Z? I think I am just gonna put you in timeout for 30 minutes because I'm starting to get a little annoyed by you. Well, I'm not gonna hide you. We got, obviously, here we are in the show. We got Javon Evans and Leon Slater, who are going to be competing for the X Division Championship at Bound for Glory next weekend. Next weekend, October 12th, I think. It's okay, Austin. Just try not to do it again. Unless I say so, people are not to be timed out or hidden. We got Javon Evans and Slater talking backstage. Now, obviously, the Culling then decided to make their presence known. Nico Vance and Sean Spears has led to a tag team match being made official for the show. We got that. Javon Evans and Leon Slater versus the Culling. Oh, okay. I appreciate you obviously telling me what happened. This match lasted about 12 minutes or so. Great match. Really good tag team match. Javon Evans and Leon Slater worked really well together. And so, obviously, Javon and Leon were able to win the match, and that's how it ended. The main event obviously was the Summit, where they would announce, where both sides would announce their teams for the Survivor Series style elimination matches. So we got Ricky Saints. His team consisted of Trick Williams, Javon Evans, and Miles Bourne. JC Jane, her team included Lola Weiss, Sol Ruka, and Jada Parker. Then Mike Santana would choose his team, that being Leon Slater, Moose, and Frankie Kazarian. Kalani Jordan chose The Inspiration, Jesse McKay, and Cassie Lee, formerly known as Billy Kay and Peyton Royce of the Iconics in WWE, and Mara Sade, also formerly known as Jakara Jackson in WWE, and I think WWE missed out on a credible opportunity to have Lash Legend in this match, because this would have been an emotional moment for Lash, having to go up against her former best friend in metaphor. I thought they missed out on an incredible opportunity for an emotional moment during the match. But hey, it should be good. These matches should be good. Obviously, this eventually boiled down to a big old brawl. And that's how it ended. Well, hey. It was a good show. I'd give it a 7 out of 10. And then we go to NXT, and we go to AEW Dynamite. We're celebrating its 6th-year anniversary this week. Nothing much to really talk about, although we did get a return from Andrade, the first superstar in AEW history to sign with AEW after leaving WWE, go back to WWE after leaving AEW, and then come back to AEW after leaving WWE for a second time. So he's the first superstar to go back to back. Crazy. And now he's with Don Callis family, who has at least 12 to 13 guys. I can't remember if it's 12 or 13 guys. Because now we've got this El Clone, who's basically a hologram wannabe in the Don Callis family, and obviously they're going to probably book him in a undefeated streak that eventually is going to lead to a hologram versus El Clone matchup, streak versus streak. AEW is creatively bankrupt at this point. I don't know what to tell you guys. AEW is just not as good as it used to be. Not to say that there are some aspects of the show that I do like, which is Tony Storm and the Young Bucks presentation of heels who are trying to get the respect that they deserve, even though they have lost their titles as EVPs, which basically means they lose all access to their extravagant pyro and stuff, and their entrances and stuff. I mean, the opening of this show actually saw them going to a casino to try and hit it big, although they came up massively short. Obviously, the opening of the match was Kenny Omega and the current tag team champions Brodito, who are another aspect of the show that I do like, versus the Young Bucks and Josh Alexander. The babyfaces win. This is where no, I trust him. I trust him. Oh, and hey, Nate. I'm surprised you're even here. I haven't seen you on my live streams in forever. Obviously, this is where Andrade made his return after the post-match. Kenny Omega was doing a speech. Obviously, Andrade came out, attacked Kenny Omega, and is now with the Don Callis family. Might actually be the best thing for him at the moment, because he definitely could benefit from a mouthpiece, and Don Callis is a great mouthpiece for the wrestlers in his group, or at least the ones that are shown on TV consistently. That being Okada, Takeshita, and Kyle Fletcher. The only three that really matter, anyways. Besides, and the majority of the members of the group aren't even showcased. Well, Hechisero's shown on TV pretty regularly on Collision, and we get Josh Alexander occasionally, but the most consistently booked members of Don Callis family are Okada, Takeshita, and Kyle Fletcher, who is the current TNT champion, which is another aspect of the show that I actually do like. As far and also the Hurt Syndicate, I like them, but it's just that a majority of the show I just don't like because it's either booked poorly or it's just not booked good at all. I don't know if everybody likes him. I'm sure there are some people that don't. I definitely know someone who doesn't like Gunther, and he will definitely tell you that he doesn't like Gunther and doesn't think that Gunther is ever a draw for WWE, and that he should never be world champion ever again. Yeah, we got the we got a Mercedes Moné interview. She was being interviewed by Renee Paquette. Obviously, they were talking about her win against Riho at All Out. Obviously, also she was also talking about the news about the women's tag team championships now being introduced. She asked, who do you think is going to would want to team up with you? And apparently they might, I don't know if they're setting up a potential Mercedes Moné Hardy Cameron tag team, but that's who would interrupt her. Well, first Mini Monet would interrupt the puppet that Hardy Cameron made of Mercedes. Yeah, great. We got Mini Monet back. I did kind of like that. As that feud with her and Hardy Cameron, and if they're looking to make Hardy Cameron and Mercedes Moné a tag team, who knows? It might be good for Harley and it might be good for Mercedes. But then again, if it's just to get another belt on Mercedes Moné, so she can say that she's 10 belts Moné, I'm like, dude, no. Give it to a team that would actually deserve it. Like AJ, Ty Mello, and Anna Jay, or any two members of the Triangle of Dark Madness or whatever. I wouldn't say she's the greatest ever. Charlotte Flair definitely has a case. Has a case. Also, Trish Stratus and Lita have a case. I wouldn't say she's the greatest, but she's definitely great. I'm definitely gonna try. Nate. I'm gonna try and watch Crown Jewel, even though it's at 8:00. But I'm gonna try my best. We got Kyle Fletcher versus Orange Cassidy for the TNT title. This was supposed to be hologram, but due to Kyle Fletcher injuring hologram on the most recent episode of Dynamite, which was last week, he was unable to compete. That would have been a title versus streak match, because hologram is still technically undefeated, has yet to be defeated in AEW. But I'm sure a match will eventually happen where hologram is forced to put his streak on the line, and he loses. But when that happens, I don't know. Kyle Fletcher wins. Didn't expect anything else. We got Hangman Page and the Ops. That's Samoa Joe and Powerhouse Hobbs versus the Death Riders of Claudio Castagnoli, Daniel Garcia, and John Moxley. Obviously, the babyfaces won the match. Now, Post-match, Hangman and Page was giving the Ops their trios titles. Hangman accidentally dropped Samoa Joe's title to the mat, picked it up and gave it to him, but apparently Samoa Joe thought Hangman was disrespecting him, so he decided to get in Hangman's face. This led to eventually Samoa Joe getting a sucker punch on Hangman, and apparently this is how Samoa Joe has now gotten himself a AEW World Championship match. Could AEW be any more creatively bankrupt? I don't think so. Obviously, we got Hangman. After this, we got Hangman issuing the challenge to Samoa Joe for a title shot at Wrestle Dream, and apparently, Samoa Joe accepted. We got also the only other thing on this match was we got Darby Allin and Chris Statlander versus the Death Riders of Marina Shafir and Wheeler Yuta. Obviously, the faces won the match, but post-match saw Jon Moxley and the Death Riders attack Darby Allin, with basically the show ending with Jon Moxley saying that one way or another, I'm going to get you to say the words I quit. Because they will face, Darby and Mox will face in a I quit match, a Wrestle Dream. So Mox is determined that however he has to, he's going to get Darby Allin to say I quit, but I don't think that's ever going to happen. I'd rate AEW a 6 out of 10 this week. We've got Friday Night SmackDown. Friday Night SmackDown started out with Cody Rhodes, Randy Orton, and the vision of Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed, and with Paul Heyman at ringside. This was typical stuff. Don't really need to go over it because it is what it is. They had the match in the main event, which was a good match. We then get the Sami Zayn U.S. title open challenge again. Carmelo Hayes looked like he was gonna accept the open challenge again, but before he went out there to accept, Miz wanted to know what was the deal with him not breaking up the pinfall last week during their match against the Street Profits. It was like at the end of the match. Carmelo could have easily gotten in there. He wasn't being held back by anybody. He was like, maybe you should have kicked out. And Melo is basically saying, Melo don't Miz is done. And none sooner, because we were starting to get a little bored with the whole angle. But it's obvious this was what it was going to lead to. Miz was always trying to one-up Melo and steal Melo's moment every chance he got. So that's how, and that's the reason. Even when they won matches, it didn't matter. Miz was trying to steal Carmelo's spotlights, and obviously before Melo could even accept the open challenge, Miz came out, hit a skull-crushing finale. This then led to Aleister Black coming out to accept the challenge instead, and that's the match we got. Went about 16 minutes. Very, very good match. Maybe not quite as good as the Javon Evans, but that's being nitpicky because this match was very, very good. Obviously, the match was won by Sami Zayn, but only because Damian Priest looked around at ringside to get some much-needed payback on Aleister Black for constantly hitting him with the Black Mass week after week after week. So, Sami Zayn won. Post-match saw Damian Priest put Aleister Black through the announce table. Later on, he would go to Nick Aldis and demand a match between Aleister Black for next week, and it would be none other than a last man standing match. That should be very good. Next week's Raw SmackDown, which is supposed to be the SmackDown right before Crown Jewel Birth, it's looking like a very decent match. Oh, I can stand them, Nate. I can stand them. They're entitled to their own opinion just like everybody else. Doesn't mean they're right or wrong. It's just their opinion. To be honest, I don't think I could actually tell you right off the top of my head. I'd have to think about it for a few seconds. But hey, I just know I just know that he is a draw for WWE. And it's insane that certain people are willing to say that. And it's not even because they actually think he isn't a draw and it's not because they have an actual reason as to why they don't think he's a draw. They just don't like him because they think he's fat and stuff. And I don't know. We got Chelsea Green. We got Chelsea Green and Zaruka. Apparently, this was earlier on in the day. They were Zaruka was talking to Nick Aldis about an opportunity at the women's tag team titles. This eventually led to Chelsea Green and Alba Fire interrupting. They were willing to accept Chelsea Green, Zaruka, and Zarya into the Secret Service, which they said no to. This then led to Nick Aldis making a tag team match official for tonight's SmackDown of Zaruka versus Chelsea Green and Alba Fire, which they won in for about 4 minutes. And now it looks like they might be getting a women's tag team title opportunity in the near future. We got a vignette for Roman Reigns. He's going to be returning to Monday Night Raw next week. This is coming Monday Night Raw, so excited for that. I'm hoping we're getting Braun Breaker versus Roman Reigns at Crown Jewel. I feel like that's the only option to go with here. We got Sokoa vignettes. He's talking to Tala Tonga about loyalty, respect, and this at the end of this promo, I was like, if this isn't leading to the return of the other Tonga brother who is currently injured, who is still out with an injury, then I don't know what is. But it was very good, and I think this is the best way to reintroduce the Bloodline 2.0, just with these vignettes and not just book them immediately on Raw, on SmackDown in meaningless squash matches without any direction. But we also got a Jacob Fatu vignette where he called out Drew McIntyre. And it's obvious they're going to have a match eventually. When that happens, I don't know, but it's going to be a great one. I know. Obviously, we got a contract signing between Stephanie McCur and Tiffany Stratton for their match at Crown Jewel. Signed Julia and Kiana James would actually interrupt and would talk to Stephanie about potentially Kiana James representing her as a client, which obviously she would say no to that. This then led to these 4 women brawling, and a tag team match was made official for next week. So, hey, it is what it is. That should be a good match, but still. I'm glad that we got Julia on TV. We also got Rey Fenix and Javon Evans versus Los Garza. This was a great tag team match. Lasted just about 10 minutes. All came about also because of a backstage segment earlier on in the show. And hey, Javon Evans and Rey Fenix win the match against Los Garza. Main event was Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton versus Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed. The babyfaces. Obviously, the heels were able to win this match via Seth Rollins' interference. And hey, it is what it is. Great. Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed beat Randy Orton and Cody Rhodes, 2 of the best in WWE at the moment. That's a big win for them. So congratulations. If I was to rate Friday Night SmackDown, this Friday Night SmackDown has been better than the last few, for sure. So I'd give it a 7 out of 10, maybe 7.5. If only for the main event tag team match, the Ray Phoenix Javon Evans tag team match, and the Aleister Black Sami Zayn match. And the Jacob Fatu and Solo Sikoa vignettes were pretty good too. Promo vignettes were pretty good too. So hey, it is what it is. That's it for this live stream. Oh my gosh, an hour and 30 minutes. That has to be the longest I've ever gone live for one of these live streams, type of live streams. I've been live longer for other live stream types, but this Wrestling Weekend Review podcast / live stream has to be the longest one I've done so far. And I hope you guys enjoyed it. I know I did. See you guys next week. Next week, I will probably be doing a movie review video post live stream. So be on the lookout for that on Sunday, on the next day, Sunday, when it premieres. What movie? I don't know yet, but I will see you guys next week. And it was a great live stream, Mox. And until next time, peace out and bye.